What if I told you that your anger is not just an emotion but a product, carefully packaged and sold to the highest bidder? Every time you get outraged online, every time you share that post that makes your blood boil, someone somewhere is making money. This is the outrage economy, a system where platforms monetize your frustration, your fear, and your mistrust. And the truth is, it is shaping not only how you see the world, but also who you become in it. Think about how quickly a conflict spreads online compared to an act of kindness. Controversy goes viral because it drives engagement, and engagement is the currency of these platforms. But what really happens to you when your attention is constantly directed toward conflict? You are being conditioned. The algorithm learns that anger keeps you clicking, so it serves you more outrage. Soon, cooperation feels boring, empathy feels weak, and mistrust becomes your default lens. This is not new. In fact, history shows us that outrage has always been a powerful economic and political tool. The Roman emperors kept the crowds entertained and distracted with the gladiatorial games, where violence and conflict were monetized as spectacle. Centuries later, pamphlets and newspapers fueled revolutions by exaggerating conflicts, sometimes creating enemies where there were none. Philosophers like Thomas Hobbes warned of this long ago. He described human life as nasty, brutish, and short when people are left in conflict, and only through social contracts could societies move toward cooperation. Yet here we are, centuries later, with technology pushing us back into Hobbes' world of constant struggle, but this time on glowing screens in our hands. At the same time, thinkers like John Stuart Mill believed that freedom of expression could help us discover truth, but he also warned that opinion becomes dangerous when it is manipulated for power. Today, the manipulation is algorithmic, invisible, and perfectly optimized to keep you scrolling. Nietzsche, too, might have recognized this moment. He wrote about resentment, the way resentment fuels entire cultures of blame and hostility. Look around online, and you can see resentment everywhere, weaponized for clicks and shares. But it's not just philosophy or history, it's your daily life. When outrage becomes the default, you begin to mistrust strangers, colleagues, even friends. Political polarization grows deeper, and communities fracture into tribes. And the more divided we are, the easier we are to control. Because outrage is profitable, cooperation does not trend. The platform does not benefit when you and someone else truly understand each other. It only profits when you clash. The future is not hard to predict if we stay on this path. Outrage will become sharper, conflicts more extreme, and mistrust so normalized that empathy feels like weakness. If we are not careful, we may enter a world where trust itself is a luxury, and society runs on perpetual suspicion. But there is another path. The outrage economy only thrives if you feed it. If you stop clicking on conflict, if you choose to amplify cooperation and empathy, you starve the system. This does not mean ignoring injustice, it means refusing to let anger be your primary mode of engagement. Imagine if we created an attention economy of empathy instead of outrage. If platforms rewarded listening, if algorithms elevated compassion instead of division. It sounds idealistic, but history shows that societies have always reinvented their values. The Enlightenment was once an impossible dream, and yet it reshaped entire nations. Why should we believe our future must be built on conflict alone? So here's the challenge for you. The next time you feel outrage pulling at your attention, pause. Ask yourself who profits from your anger. Remember that every click is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. You can break free from the outrage economy by choosing connection over conflict, by seeking understanding over mistrust. If you want to explore more stories like this, where philosophy meets our digital age, subscribe to our channel. Together we can imagine and build a culture that is not driven by outrage, but by empathy, courage, and cooperation. Because the future will be decided not only by technology, but by how you choose to use your attention today.